Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our video today. We have another bilateral earwax removal for you. Now this gentleman's attended clinic with some dry wax in both ear canals, so we're looking here, you just see a little sort of mound of dry wax in here. So we're going to use a bit of suction to remove this first of all. This is a standard size ulnar tube. So you can see it's used a little bit of olive oil just to try and soften this up for us. So we're just getting the first section away. There we go, you can see the different colour variations in that wax there, so quite old and new wax together. Suctioning away, you can see we've hit some of the harder pieces of wax in here now. Just getting a grip on any leading edge we can with the suction. It's a bit of an awkward shape to suction because it's quite flat in some places, which is difficult to get. So you imagine to get a good suction grip on this, you need to be completely blocking the end of the suction tube to allow the pressure to build to grab a good grip on it. When it's quite flat with lots of leading edges like this one is, it's difficult to get a good grip on one piece. So just taking it away piece by piece. This gentleman does have an ear, nose and throat history, but not with this particular ear. I'll explain a bit more detail when we look at the other side now. So still taking away these little pieces. You can see it's quite flat here. It's going to be difficult to get a suction grip. So we're going to use the crocodile forceps just to go in. We're just going to try and get underneath and above. There we are. Just going to try and get a good grip on it. Just pulling. Oh, a little bit broke off there. So it's now in the outer part of the ear canal. So we're just going to try and get another grip on this. And a little piece broke off. See, difficulty with using crocodile forceps is little bits break off sometimes. So I'm just going to use, because it's on the outer part of the ear canal, we're just going to go in with a Jobson horn just to get behind, excuse me, sorry, behind it and manoeuvre it forwards. There we are. It's out of the canal now. Didn't want to come out that gap, so we're just going to use the suction just to get a grip on it to take it out. So there we are. That's the you can see how flat that piece is. Looks like a little kind of penny shape. There we are, and there's the eardrum there, you can see. So we've cleared that wax away. A couple of little dots in here, so we're just going to go in with a slightly smaller suction tube just to hoover up a little bit of dry skin there. That's gone. It's not as important to take away these little bits. It's not going to cause any issue having these little tiny pieces of wax in here. There we are, just taking away a couple of the extra little pieces. You can see a little hair just getting into the bottom of the view there. There we are. Lovely shiny eardrum. Looking lovely and healthy. Okay, now this here, there's a more complicated history with this one. You can see we've got lots of dry wax in here, little bits of skin. Can't really see the eardrum in there. What I thought was the eardrum in the top left hand corner was just a reflective bit of skin. So this wax, much tougher on this side. You can see we're just trying to lift it with the Jobson horn here. Much drier pieces of wax and dried up pieces of skin. So we're going to opt to use the crocodile forceps. The difficulty with this wax is it's so dry that it's just, you can see it's just starting to break away in little pieces. This is not going to be a quick extraction, guys. This is going to take quite a while. And you can see as soon as I'm getting a grip on it, it's just taking these little tiny bits away. Now, the reason I haven't gone in with the Jobson horn just yet is I can see that all of this is moving in one large piece. So as you get a grip on it, you'll see the whole thing is moving. Okay, but as hard as I'm pulling at it with the crocodile forceps, the skin, the dry skin, is holding this in place. So there, can you see the whole thing is moving? So if I try and put a Jobson horn in here, that's all I'm going to do. I could try and drag it down the canal, but that's all it's going to do, is it's going to be pulling against the dry skin from behind. So I'm going to have to push so hard against that wax to try and pull it out, I could risk damaging the ear canal itself or causing some irritation or bleeding in here. So I'm opting to stick with the crocodile forceps and just as painstakingly as I can take all these pieces away. So we've got quite a large mound of dead dry skin behind all this, which is just what's holding all of this in, but there is so much in here. It's going to be quite a frustrating watch because you're going to get lots of these little pieces breaking away. Yeah, just lifting with the crocodile forceps. As I'm getting a grip on it, you can see as I'm trying to push into it to get a good grip with the crocodile forceps, you can see the whole thing slides backwards. So every time I try and get a grip on it, the whole thing is moving backwards, and as I'm pulling it, the whole thing is being held together. That's why we're just breaking these little small pieces away. And we're starting to run out of places to get grips on here with the crocodile forceps. There, we just see we've got a bit of a leading edge there. Now, people ask me, why are you going in, coming out, going in, coming out? You can see the end of the crocodile forceps. They're quite blunt. And as we're taking it away, what we're getting is a grip on a piece of wax. And as it pulls away, we're just trying to wiggle it out, it's not coming. You can see that you get these bits of wax sandwiched in between the grips on the crocodile forceps. Well, because the end is so blunt, I need to get a really good idea of where the end of these are so I can clamp either side of this wax. If it's all gunked up inside with wax and skin, I'm not going to be able to tell where that grip is. So I'm just going to use the suction now just to try and get another leading edge to work on with the crocodile forceps. It's too dry to take out with suction, and because the dead skin is holding this in with such force, suction's grip is not strong enough to pull it out. So what I'm doing now is just pulling a piece down from the ear canal wall so I can try and get a grip on it. It's so frustrating, it just keeps breaking away. Just to try and get a grip on it so we can keep taking it away. Thank you to everybody who wished us the best with the new clinic launch. That's officially opening to patients a week tomorrow. So that's the 27th of Feb. So if my videos do become a little bit more sporadic over the next week or so, it's just because I'm working so hard and getting that up and running. I might not have time to voice the videos over, but I will keep trying to put one up at least every other day for you guys. So just starting to get some larger pieces moving down the canal now. So you can see it's just really frustrating to try and get grips around this wax because you think it's going to come and it breaks another piece away. So we're still working on this. No matter how much of this we take away, every time we look in there, there just seems to be more there to take away again. This is certainly one of the more difficult ones. It's not where the wax is so much, but just how the wax is behaving. Because all that skin that's in there. The history for this, nice larger piece coming away there. The history for this gentleman, he had issues with the perforations of his eardrum when he was a youngster, and he's been noticing reduced hearing for a little while, but not really done anything about it. Presumed it was due to the fact he'd had this perforation when he was younger, so not really got along to the GP to have a look in here. So this is probably the first time anyone's looked in this ear for a good number of years, and what we have in here is just this whole debris, skin, wax build up, and this is quite a few years worth we're taking out here. So just maneuvering this wax into a better position so I can get a grip, so I can get basically underneath and above a leading edge in here. See, it's still coming. No matter how much you look in there, there's just more and more coming down the canal. Yeah, I've managed to work a piece to the outer section of the ear canal now. Just getting a grip. Still breaking away. So I'm not expecting to see a nice, lovely looking eardrum after what we've taken out of here. I think we're gonna see a lot of scarring there. We might not even see the eardrum at all, looking at how much of this dead skin that's coming out. Still maneuvering this out. Just keeps coming. See, still no obvious gaps in here. There is a bit of a leading edge. I think we can get behind it with the Jobson horn. So I'm just going to gently probe this down. Now we're starting to see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. There, now that looks like part of the eardrum I can see behind there. So you can see all this skin and wax debris coming out. There you go. I don't know whether you guys have watched, there was a previous one we did where there was a long ribbon of skin in the ear canal that got removed. I think effectively that's what's happened here. But instead of getting to it early as we did with the other one, this ribbon of skin has stayed in here and hardened. And that's just caused all of this wax and debris to build up around it. So we're still removing here. You can see we're still taking wax from this canal. You can see how tough this is, really holding this wax in here. It doesn't want to come out without a fight. And still there's more in there, so we're still going. Another large piece of skin and wax. And we're still going. You can see we're pulling all this old dead skin away now. So just using a little bit of suction just to try and loosen some more of this dead skin away. Trying to maneuver into a better position. Back in with the crocodile forceps because we've got a leading edge we can work on. Is it going to come away in one big piece? No, it doesn't look like it, no. Okay, going back in with the Jobson horn, so we've manoeuvred it forward slightly, so just going behind this wax and skin. You can see it, how much it's curled around in there. Okay, it's still coming. You can see it all just wrapped up in here and all twisted around itself. There you go. And it's still coming. So more suction. You can see we're getting to the newer kind of dead skin in here. It's whiter in colour. Hasn't been in there as long, so we know we're coming to the end of this now. So we're just trying to work this down the canal. Can you see it all pulling down in there? I mean, this is quite a few years worth. Just trying to break this section away. There you go. Okay, and still there's more. Okay, now it looks like we're coming towards the end of it. There you go. Let's take a look in there. We still got more coming. Yeah, a little bit more on the outside edge of the ear canal there. So just going to pull this. You can see how this is holding in. All these layers of skin wrapped and wrapped and wrapped around one another. And all in sort of intertwined with the wax. So you can see now why we were having real difficulty getting this out of the canal. There you go. Long strips of skin look embedded at the rear of this. Okay, right, so we've removed all the debris. You can see just how messy this ear canal is. What you have here, obviously this skin hasn't been exposed to any air or anything for quite some time. There's a lot of old dead skin and debris in here. just sort of lifting a couple of these little pieces away. What you can see at the top of the screen, this little flap we're going to work on now, is just in front of the eardrum. You can see the sort of texture of the skin. That's the eardrum behind it there, with lots of this sort of dry skin debris sitting in front of it. So this chap is going to have to take a trip to the ear, nose and throat department. We've cleared this out as best we can, but I think what's left there, I think that's actually part of the actual drum itself. I think this is hardened skin of the actual drum. So we're not going to be able to take this away, just sort of gently touching it here, just trying to take some of this extra skin away. But you can see all the indentations and dimples around here. I've had a couple of people ask us why we always show nice shiny eardrums. The majority of what we get coming through is quite healthy looking drums, but this is a very unhealthy looking ear canal. You can see there's still quite a bit of sort of scarring and bits and pieces going on in here. So yeah, trip down to ear, nose and throat for this one. Yeah, not a great deal we can do with that eardrum. Just wanted a really good shot of it so you could see what we look at here. But no obvious sort of anatomical features we'd associate with a healthy looking eardrum there. And this is everything that came out. So the first, probably about the first 3 centimeters, so the first say inch, was the one ear. The second ear was all the rest of that debris. So you can see we took out, what, 15 centimeters, almost 6 inches, and that's without what we had in the tank there. So you can see there's quite a bit in there. Well, thanks again for watching, guys, and as always, comment, like, share, and take care, guys.